As many as 18 NPP members of parliament have decided not to seek re-election. They've decided to hang their parliamentary boots. One of them, my senior from Tema Secondary School. I was going to add a few more things. The man who was accused of chewing ballot papers in parliament when this new parliament was being inaugurated. A man who conducted an interview with me here on Eyewitness News, confessing to having tested positive for COVID-19 and yet going to registration centers, for which reason the president sacked him from his government as Deputy Minister for Trade. The Member of Parliament for Tema West, Carlos Ahinkra, he has decided not to seek re-election. That means the seat becomes vacant, at least from the NPP side. NDC has already chosen a candidate. It's now the turn of the New Patriotic Party to choose a replacement for Carlos Ahinkra. So tonight on Point Blank, my guest is one of two persons seeking to be the parliamentary candidate of the NPP in Tema West. Is Dennis Amfo Sefah. He wants to be NPP parliamentary candidate when the party goes to the polls on January 27. He's joined me in studio. You're welcome to Point Blank.
Thank you, my brother.
How are you? Please come closer to the
Great.
microphone.
You too?
I'm okay. The year is starting on a very funny note. Doomsday all over the place. You know, the Hamatan, the pocket is dry, everything. So
Well, you had light out just for some couple of days, and you are referring to it as doomsday. We had lived in this country where we had 3 years, and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, that on a daily basis, on a daily basis.
And we removed him and we brought you because you said that you will fix
we've
it.
enjoyed light for the past 8 years.
So we should bear the pain now.
We are having some challenges. I don't think you can refer to that as
Don't worry. Let me not ask you to come. This. Let me talk to you. Who are you first of all?
Well, my name is Dennis Amfo Sefah, as you rightly said. I'm a businessman and an international freight and trade consultant. I lead in Tema. I've worked all my life in Tema. The immediate past constituency chairman of the Tema West NPP. So basically, that is all about me for now.
So you were constituency chair?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. For how long?
One term.
Okay.
Yeah, but before that, I was the campaign manager for both the presidential and parliamentary candidates for the constituency during the 2016 elections. And thereafter, I became the constituency chairman and also managed the elections for 2020, which saw victory for both the presidential and parliamentary candidates.
So you campaigned for Carlos Ahinkra and the president?
Exactly.
Were you there when... Okay, Tema West is... Edu, Honorable Edu.
Honorable Abraham
Edu.
Yes.
Then he lost to Natoshi Ado. And then now Carlos Ahinkra. Yeah. So this is a third, I think, in the conservative list. Okay. Irene is not interested in the constituency again?
Well, she served the constituency and served it well for 2 terms. She rose to become the deputy chief whip in parliament and still serves the NPP party and government. But
she's not seeking to come back to parliament?
No.
Okay. So you are safe. You don't have problem from... I just wanted to be sure if there's any senior person threatening your...
Well, I think all the 3 former members of parliament are in support of my candidature. I may rightly say so.
Oh, really?
I've served this party during the Abraham Oseidu's tenure.
Okay.
I was a polling agent and became a polling station chairman, rose through the ranks to become a constituency chairman. So it tells you I've been an apprentice for Honorable Edu, I've been apprentice for Honorable Carlos, I served Honorable Irina Toshi before I became the constituency chairman.
I see. How is the party looking in the constituency?
Well, it's great.
You are not the incumbent chair, are you?
No.
You are not the incumbent chair. So how has the party fared under your tenure as chairman?
Well, we did so many wonderful things. Tema West has had its fair share of infrastructural development, both roads, drainages, when it comes to school infrastructure, sports, two AstroTurf currently as we speak, one at the Committee 2 Mexico School Park, one at Sakumono Village. The third one is in the process that will be for the people of Bachona. And when it comes to road, all the roads in the Tema enclave, Committee 2, 3, 5, has seen an asphalt overlay. Come to Sakumono Estates, all their roads have seen major improvement. Where we have a challenge is the roads in Ajay-Kojo, where, as we speak, our member of parliament has been able to lobby for about some 20 kilometers of road, which they've started with the drainages already. They're about 60-70% complete. So we've done so well in
it seems to me that your constituency is largely NPP, because the three Tema constituencies, Tema East has been switching between NPP and NDC. Tema Central has been NPP since it was created, but Tema Central came out of Tema West. So it means that part of Tema is an NPP stronghold. Would that be fair to say? Because from Tema West, you go to either Ashaiman or you go to Krowo, and they are both NDC.
Yes, all the Tema seats, you are right by saying that predominantly MPP. And Tema East actually is an MPP seat, but there were some challenges in the 2020 elections that made us lose it. Because if you quite remember, Honorable Titus won it for the first time with about 4 votes, three votes difference. And in 2016, he won with about 4,000, 5,000 thereabouts. And then in 2020, it was overturned. It was basically because of certain misunderstandings in the Tema Newtown enclave that brought about this. But I'm optimistic, and I know that we'll reclaim that seat going into 2024 elections.
The person who covered Tema West for us in election 2020 said to me that Carlos almost lost that seat. I don't remember the figures. If you have them, you were in the election process, so you would know.
All right. So the Tema West elections has changed, has evolved with time. If you look at the 2012 elections, Honorable Renato, she had about 39,950. Honorable Ofusu-Ampofu, who was contesting from the NDC, had 39,075 thereabouts. So the difference was about 900. So now, fast forward 2016, when Honorable Carlos took the reins, Honorable Carlos had about 44,700 thereabouts, and the NDC candidate James Enu had about 29,000. So they lost about 10,000 votes, making the votes difference between ourselves and the NDC about 14,000. Now, 2020, Honorable Carlos had 47,000 thereabout, meaning
he lost 2,000.
No, it went up by about 2,000.
You said he had 49,000.
44,000.
Okay, 44.
And we have 47,000.
So 3,000.
But the NDC this time appreciated from 29 to about 44.
Oh, so that's what happened.
That's what happened.
So 44,000 versus 47,000. So that's very close.
Yeah, exactly. But the dynamics was largely because of the new voter register that was compiled. You know, during COVID, a lot of people did not travel to go and register, and they stayed in their various communities. Now, if you split Tema West into two, the Tema enclave, which has about 5 electoral areas, we have 11 electoral areas. Now, the Tema enclave that have 5 electoral areas votes massively for the NPP, and always we beat the NDC with more than 12,000 votes difference. But the other enclave, which is outside the Tema enclave, coming from Lashibi, Ajay-Kojo, Klagom, and Bachona, the NDC always beat us with about 8,000, 9,000 votes.
So if you divided Tema West into two, there's an NDC side and an MPP side. Yeah, so NPP is like the hard Tema. That's Committee 5, Committee 2.
Committee 3.
So along that area, the industrial, the communities. Okay, so the committee. I know Committee 3 is
3, 2, and 5.
Those are Tema.
Which are proper the enclave.
Then you have Lashibi.
Then you have Sakumono Estate, Lashibi.
So Sakumono is also MPP. It's blue.
Yes.
But then Lashibi heading towards Ashaiman. Okay, Klagon, under the bridge.
Under the bridge, Bachona.
Okay.
And Ajay-Kojo. Now, when the new voter register was compiled, those areas that are predominantly NDC, that always vote against NPP, the voter population went up.
Why? They didn't have COVID.
They had COVID, so they didn't go out to register. If you pick, let me give you a classical example, like the Bachuna area. Majority of the people that live around a certain area always register outside the constituency. But this time they registered in the constituency. So the voter population went from about 100,000 to 120,000.
So you're saying that people remained home
thank you,
and registered there.
And those areas that were already voting against the NPP, when the register was compiled, their numbers had gone up. And ultimately, they voted against us.
Are you sure? Because then what happened to the people who didn't go home who also stayed in Tema?
I ran the elections. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've run 2 elections for the party in the constituency. Mm-hmm. 2016, I was the youngest campaign manager running the campaign for Honorable Carlos Ahenko and the president. I was about 36 years old. Okay. And so I know the figures off head. I can just put them to you. Okay. And in 2020, I ran the elections as well as the campaign manager and the constituency chairman.
So you are saying that your key contest in 2020 was because of COVID. Are you suggesting that this
because of the new voter register that was compiled
during COVID?
So, yes, so we had new the population or the voter population in certain areas
increasing. How sure are you that these people would not register again this time around? No. And give you
Umaru, we are not compiling a new register. So already their names are on the register.
Okay, so it means your problem is still there.
So now what we need to do as a party is to make sure that the enclave, the Tema enclave, where we get majority of our votes, we either maximize. First, we need to protect what we have, the numbers we have, and then maximize it so that it will go to cancel the votes that will come from the other side of the constituency that always vote against us.
That is your plan.
That is the
could it not be that you are failing with development? The road from Nungwath to Ashaiman has been done, but there are portions that are not good. Could that be one of the reasons? Because the Lashibi area, the Lashibi roads are not good.
Yes, I mentioned.
Could it be one of the reasons that they are not voting for you?
I made mention of them. Lashibi, yes, had their fair share of road infrastructure done well, but not all the areas. The areas that I know is a challenge is that Jekojo area.
Yeah, they don't even have roads. Those places. I used the last 2
good. And that's the road that I said the MP has been able to lobby for a 20-kilometer road that the drainages are about 70% complete. But that area has always been voting the NDC. Not during Honorable Carlos or Honorable Irene Stein.
Okay.
It was even
so it's an NDC area.
Good. So it is not new to us that we lose votes from that area and we get votes from the proper Tema enclave. But what is great for us is that in 2016, during Honorable Carlos's first term, we were able to win Sakumono Main, Wole, which we hadn't won before. And we're able to still maintain it in 2020. So it goes to tell you that they were pleased with what we did for them during the first term of Honorable Carlos, and therefore continued to vote NPP, even though that area was voting NDC during Honorable Abraham Osedu and Honorable Irene Stenia. So we've been able to steal one of the areas from them, which is currently voting NPP. So now, as a party, we need to protect the areas that already vote NPP and maximize our numbers. Then try as much as we can to steal from the other areas as well, as Honorable Carlos was able to steal Wole from the NDC.
What track record are you hoping to use as a reason to be... Okay, what are you campaigning on as a party, first of all? Then I'll ask you as a person.
Okay, well, as a party, as I told you, our current Member of Parliament has done marvelously well when it comes to road infrastructure. We've done so much. When it comes to education, basically every public school in the constituency has been provided with rural decks. The youth, the sports development, as I told you, we have 2 new astroturfs in Sakumono village, the community school park, and the Mexico school in Committee 2. When it comes to schools, he was able to lobby to get a new school being built for the people of Ajekojo, because Ajekojo had only 1 public school. And Ajekojo, as you said, you live in that area, is a very big community. So getting 1 additional school for them was a great initiative. He's done marvelously well. As I speak, through the Common Fund Administrator, we built a vocational school in Committee 2, which is yet to be commissioned and open for use. So we have lots of projects that we can identify or point to for people to see the development that has been brought to their doorstep. Come to security. We have a new district police complex in Committee 2. The regional police office is now being built in Committee 3 for the police service. The Member of Parliament recently bought two brand new pickups to help the police visibility and moving around. So we've done a lot of things that the party can speak to going into election 2024.
Let's talk about you as a person. So why should you be the one to lead the NPP in that constituency?
Well, as I said, I have worked within this party for a very long time. I've served all the 3 MPs in the party. I've risen from being the polling agent to become a polling station chairman and become the constituency chairman of the party. I've won 2 elections for the party as a campaign manager in 2016 and 2020. Under my chairmanship, I was able, under the auspices of the MP, to roll out an SME and traders investment support fund, which we gave to groups like the Sakumono Village Fishmongers Association to help the women improve on their businesses. We also did a lot of skill development training that got a lot of youth who are unemployed to learn some trade and some skill and become masters of their own.
Now, many politicians, when they are bowing out, would just bow. They say they don't want to publicly endorse anybody. Others also decide to publicly endorse. Have you been publicly endorsed by Carlos, or he is not endorsing anybody in this race? Because there are 2 of you going.
Well, I'm not sure he being father of the constituency, it would be appropriate for him to publicly endorse me. And as I said, having worked with him and having served him, it won't be out of place if he can whisper in a couple of people's ear that, well, this gentleman with his qualities and the experience that he's learned over the years is the best person to lead the party in the constituency.
Are you not going to admit that Tema West is changing and is fast changing, and the results of 2020, despite what you've explained, may become or is fast becoming a constituency that the NPP may lose grips over, because the NDC appears to be interested in going there again and again?
Well, I'm not sure the NDC can, and it's not going to happen, the NDC taking away the seat from us. And it might interest you to know that the candidate that they presented in 2016, who had about 29,000 votes, is the same candidate they are presenting now. It's not that
he has been sold and marketed, so it's easier. You are coming as a new face.
They presented a new candidate in 2020. So it's not the same candidate.
So they're bringing the 2016
candidate back. You get my point. So it's the same candidate.
But at least he has been marketed before.
I was a campaign manager against, and I beat him.
But you see, you are a new face. Despite the fact that you are a campaign manager, you are in the shadows. You are not on a poster for a parliamentary election. So you are relatively newer than him. He has had a taste of defeat before. He knows what that means, and would not be ready to be defeated again.
Well, yes, it's true. He's been on the ballot before. I haven't been on the ballot before, but I'm a new face to the people of Tema West and the people of Tema. I was born, bred, and lived all my life in Tema. So I'm not a new face to the people. Yes, but I'm a new face on the ballot paper, as you rightly said. But that doesn't mean that because he's been a candidate before, it's likely or that gives him the edge to win. No, it doesn't work like that.
Which part of Tema are you from?
Committee 2.
Committee 2. Which area? Agbamami?
BBC.
BBC, okay.
I like the same area the NDC candidates also come.
So you are neighbors?
Yeah. We are even friends.
You are friends?
Yeah.
I see.
We grew up together.
Who is going to win that area? Based on the history, the figures.
I'm going to beat him. I'm the original homeboy.
But is it an NDC area or an NPP area?
It's an NPP area.
So you are confident that you can win that area?
Very, very confident.
Okay. Let's move on to what you plan to do for the constituency if you got elected as candidate and eventually win. What is your plan for Tema West?
Africa and Ghana, I think we are sitting on a youth unemployment time bomb waiting to explode. And it's very difficult and dangerous for all of us. We cannot we cannot recruit all unemployed graduates into state agencies and government workplaces. What I intend to do is to copy a model that I learned from the Barking and Dagenham College in England, skill training development, where they trained unemployable youth to be employable. They trained youth and give them skills and have proper exit plan. Now, with my experience with what we did with Honorable Carlos during his tenure, when we introduced skill development training for the youth, because we did it in maybe 10 days, 7 days, and the exit plan was not properly done. So we could not achieve what the targets and the aim that we were expecting to. But having learned from the experience and knowing how we could not meet our target, I would introduce skill development training by building an ultra-modern youth skill development training resource center in Tema, where we're going to train the youth in employable skills that will be theirs and a proper exit plan for them. Then after, they can be bosses and men of their own. Secondly, as I told you, we tried introducing the SME support under the former MP, Honorable Carlos, I mean the incumbent MP. I think we had challenges with that too, even though the MP gave us a seed capital of about 200,000 cedis. The way we expected it to revolve and the recollection and the collecting of the fees back did not go as planned. And I would want to reintroduce this thing, the same scheme again, but this time properly managed, properly planned, learning from the failures and the things that didn't go well during the other scheme.
You are on a coast, or you are a coastal constituency. Do you have fishermen? You have the port is in your constituency, right?
No, the port is not in our constituency. There's only one electoral area that is in the coast, Wole.
Okay, that's the Sakumono side.
Village, yeah.
Do you have fishermen?
Yes, they are fisher folks.
What's your fisheries agenda?
Well, there are two things. The fisher folks in that area needs an oven to smoke their fish. Because if you see how they are scattered around the community, I was speaking to the president of the Fishmongers Association, and she told me they would be glad if I could build an oven in one area that all of them could access and even pay a fee to manage and maintain it, which I think it was a laudable idea. So I gave her my word that if I'm to lead the constituency, we'll build a community oven that the women would and men alike would use, because they believe that could help them store the fish for a longer period than the normal way of storing fish.
I see. Aram has sent me a message and he says Committee 18, 19 and 20 roads are bad. Even Sakumono Junction itself is terribly bad, not even patching of the potholes. This is someone who lives in your constituency. What do you say to that?
Yes, it's true. I can't sit on radio and tell a lie. Yes, the Sakumono ST Junction, where the traffic light is bad, because it feeds into the Junction Mall flyover that is being constructed. And if the construction had gone on smoothly, that area would have joined into the flyover.
Junction Mall is not in your constituency, is it?
It's in Crow.
It's in Crow. Edmond says, please ask him what his plan is for the Ashaman under bridge. The road under the bridge is terrible, and in 2024, that bridge cannot remain a one-lane bridge. The story with this bridge is that my father used to head cattle around Santor, and he told me that in those days, that was just a cattle path.
Yeah, it's true.
So that Nkrumah didn't want cattle to cross over the motorway. They would go through from Santor. If you want to come to Lashibi, you go under the bridge. It has become a road, and we have the sad situation with that tunnel is that we have a dual carriage coming from Accra through the beach road all the way, 10 minutes at that point. Then from Ashaman, dual carriage, 10 minutes. And then you have 2 lanes or 4 lanes ending in one. It's chaotic. How come your MP did not lobby for a flyover on the motorway?
My MP lobbied for not just a flyover, that the tunnel should be expanded, just like the one in East Legon. But there was a grand scheme of expanding the motorway, which will feed into that area. So on all his accounts, the road ministry told him that because of that plan, they cannot expand the tunnel. So we need to wait that the expansion of the motorway will feed into that area, and I think a flyover will be.
But we should find a solution to that.
So now the only solution we had was to once in a while level the place, put gravels, and then make sure it's motorable until the expansion, which we all know the road minister has said construction is yet to begin.
In 30 seconds, speak to your delegates in Tema West and tell them why they should choose you.
Well, I would want to tell the polling station executive in Tema West, then is Amfo Sefah, who you popularly call Chairman Anabuache. You have known me in this constituency. I've worked with the party from the polling agent to become a polling station chairman, rising to be the constituency chairman of this party. I've run and won 2 elections with this the party for Tema West. I believe that if we need someone who really understands elections and understands the party in the constituency to lead us going into election 2024, then I'll plead with you to vote for Nana Boakye, number 1 on the ballot, come 27 January.
But the name on the ballot will be Dennis Amfo Sefah, not Nana Boakye. Thank you so much for joining us for Point Blank. That's an NPP parliamentary hopeful for Tema West.